ATN News Desk. It is the 15th of February, the day all striking nurses were to return to work, at least going by the directive issued by President Uhuru Kenyatta on Wednesday. The president warned that any nurse who would defy the 8 a.m. deadline would be dismissed. Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, was also keen to note that action would be taken against those who may intimidate nurses who are willing to resume duty. However, a spot check in the striking counties still indicate defiance. We begin at the helm of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, where the union officials are issuing the statement right now. And our reporter Timothy Otieno is covering this for us at Uchumi House, which I said houses the Kenya National Union of Nurses. He now joins us live with an update. Timothy, defiance from the nurses even after the directive by President Uhuru Kenyatta. What are they saying is their next step?
Well, Akisa, most of the nurses still choosing to stay away from work despite that ultimatum, if you could call it, from the president saying that they should report to work by 8 a.m. this morning. We were able to make a few rounds to some of the facilities that are under the Ministry of Health, but whose nurses are joining the Kenya National Union of Nurses in this particular strike. Earlier on, we were at the National Spine Injury Referral Hospital in Hurlingham, as well as the Mathare Hospital along Thika Road. Now, in Hurlingham, at the Spine Injury Referral Hospital, out of 46 nurses, just 6 had reported to work as at 10 a.m. this morning. As at midday, Akisa, at the Mathare Referral National Hospital, out of 168 nurses, just 7 out of that number had clocked in and were on duty serving the nearly 500 mental patients in that particular facility. So just from those numbers alone, you can tell that clearly the nurses have defied those orders. They have remained adamant that they will only return to work if their grievances are met, and those grievances have been in the public domain over the last 2 weeks since the strike began. But right now we want to engage the Deputy Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, Mr. Maurice Opetu, who joins us live on KTN News. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Open defiance from your union, isn't it?
No, I can't call it an open defiance from the union. First, the nurses have not defied any order of the president. The nurses are just exercising their rights that are given under Article 41 of the Constitution of Kenya. And we want to also say that labor relations rights are part of the human rights, and therefore the nurses are only demanding that they be treated as other citizens of Kenya and other workers of Kenyans are treated with respect and dignity. And they are demanding just for an agreement that was entered into and signed by the employers be implemented. And that is what will take them back to work. In fact, the nurses of this nation respect the government and the president. And the only problem that is there is that the employers and the county governors have defied their roles and mandate. They have defied the roles that are given to them by the citizens who elected them. They are in contempt of the court orders of 2017 and the agreement that becomes a rule and that becomes a law when registered in court. And this agreement of 2017 was registered in court and as a report of a court order that was there then. So they are in breach of that agreement and in contempt of the court order.
Speaking of the contempt of court, on Tuesday this week, the Employment and Labor Relations Court summoned you to appear before it on Monday, you alongside 3 other officials, for contempt of court for a strike that same court termed as illegal. Will you honor that summon? Will you be in court on Monday? And you could possibly risk jail time.
Fine. I want to say very boldly that if it means my being in jail to give the nurses the dignity they deserve in this nation, I'm ready to go to jail. And if it means that the rights of the nurses should be respected when I'm in jail, I'm ready to face the jail. If it means that the implementation of the nurses' return to work agreement would require my being jailed, I'm ready to go to jail.
All right. Behind all this, there has been conciliatory talks ongoing between your union, the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Health, the SRC, and the Council of Governors. How far have those talks gone? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? When is your next meeting?
We have met the conciliation team twice as a union. We are expecting to go back to the conciliation table on Saturday, tomorrow. And we hope that the position of the union and in our submission, the conciliator is going to get the very strong points to make a very vibrant report that would bring a solution to this stalemate. Yes.
Thank you so much, Bwana Morris, for speaking to KTN News. We do appreciate your time. Akisa, that is the Deputy Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, who say as long as their grievances are met, then they are more than ready to go to work. As it stands, 11 counties have been affected with the ongoing nurses strike, and come Monday, 9 more counties are threatening to join this particular strike, even as medical laboratory officers who issued a 21-day strike notice on Wednesday, citing similar grievances, may be warming up to similar scenes if they are not heard in their particular grievances. Remember, clinical officers, Akisa, very important, are meeting tomorrow to give an announcement of whether or not they will also be joining the strike, because they say they have been ignored and the issues that the nurses are raising are similar to those that they have raised in the past and have simply been ignored by the Council of Governors. So in the coming weeks, it may be some tough times for the health sector in the country if these strike threats will be honored. Akisa.
Timothy Otieno, our reporter there for us at the Kenya National Union of Nurses offices, speaking to the deputy of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, Maurice Opetu, and they're saying if their grievances are not met, they're not going back to work, meaning they will not be respecting that directive by President Uhuru Kenyatta, because they believe they are on the right side of the law. Quite a crisis there in the health sector in the country, as Timothy Otieno there mentioned, that we have 2 more groups that are set to join in that strike because of the various grievances they also have and want addressed by the government. So it's a story we are keeping up on for you, following every possible development of it to its logical conclusion, and our reporters on the ground and in the counties will also be seeing what is happening in the counties. Have nurses gone back to work during this bulletin? But I want us to take a quick break. When we get back, among the updates on the nurses strike, we'll also be really taking a close look at the goings-on at the Supreme Court, the ruling on the Wajir County gubernatorial seat or results is set to be delivered this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Our Grace Courier will be giving us a precursor as we await that particular ruling. And of course, we'll also be heading to the Windsor Hotel, where the Senators' retreat is currently ongoing as they prepare to embark on house business. We can see those are live pictures. James Orengo there speaking, Senator for Siaya. So we'll be giving you all these stories when we come back from the short break. Don't go too far.